No, you didn't.
You worked with Ralph.
Steady.
Is there anyone who didn't do Ralph?
Sorry, I was walking the streets. No, Ralph had a great sense of humour.
Didn't he, Joe?
Isn't he just? Yeah.
When he was with Jimmy Sangster, he was irrepressible and uncontrollable to a point. We would have lunch together, and Kate and myself and Jimmy and Ralph. And those two they were like brothers. It was quite extraordinary, the level of, not immature humour, maybe bathroom humour, certainly. But in the end, I would laugh so much that my stomach, I couldn't finish a meal, and I'd have to walk away and leave my meal behind me and go, because as soon as they'd finished, Jimmy would say, right, laughter's done, over, now let's go back and work on the set, we'll be serious. And he was, although between takes he would be so mischievous, and of course Ralph would love being mischievous too. So it was a very happy atmosphere. Slightly inappropriate, I felt, for Hammer. I thought it was too camp and jokey for words. But the two men were so adorable together, and I think they looked on each other as brothers to some measure. Did you ever get a feeling that Ralph was so amenable? He was so delightful, wasn't he?
He was mischievous.
He was very mischievous.
And we were like, and we'd flirt, and we'd kind of like deep,
Yes.
You flirting?
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Do you remember when we talked about nudity in films? Because this is when Hammer goes even more into this. And you said you were very no, and you don't do, and all of this. And I asked you because there were some issues with this, but you said you didn't like it with Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde because you had arguments about them, unless it was motivated.
Well, no, actually what it was I agreed because I realized that he was going to turn into her. So, of course, you're going to have to share something,
Well, that's what you said to me before. If a man turns into a woman, you don't have to
I'm sorry, you have to share something. And also because and it was in the script, so I agreed to it. But then we got on the set and they wanted a full nudity and I went, are you out of your mind? No, I'm sorry. And so, unfortunately, Roy Ward Baker was being pushed by Hammer and Hammer was being pushed by, everything. And so when it collided, everything collided. And Roy Ward Baker wouldn't talk to me and said, we've got to do this. And I said, no, I'm sorry, it's not in the script and I'm not going to do it. And finally, and I did a whole, and I just became, and they called me a diva. They're like, me. But it wasn't about, because if I'm going to do something, I commit completely to it. And I agreed. So I said, no, I did not agree to this. This is not right. However, we got on the set and said, well, look, Martine, and I said, look, let's just stop this. And he wouldn't talk to me, and I said, look, we've got to stop this because the film's got to go on. Here's what we're going to do. I have to do a scene where I have to take off my robe and I have to walk over and I have to pull down the curtain and make a dress. I tell you what, I'm happy to do that. Okay? But you have to make sure, because I was on little steps like this, you have to make sure that the camera is not going to be at a certain, And so I come out and I do this, and I come out to do this shot, and they've got the camera right up my... I'm sorry. What are you? That cannot work. That does not work. I said, you've got to find a way of doing this where I literally take it off and I move out. I mean, do it from the back. Anyway, so he actually managed, he backed off. And sure enough, it was a great scene. Because I said, look, you don't have to cut. I'm going to get that curtain down and I'm going to make a dress and I'm going to come out. Okay? And they went, oh, can you do? I said, yes, I can. And I did. And that is how I solved the problem. But it was really sticky. It was very, very sticky for the time. So I got married. But they got me nude, but it was not, we're not,
No.
No, it's your back was sliding up.
Yeah, full frontal nude. Are you out of your mind? Get that camera out of here. I mean, really.
So where was the camera?
The camera was right here.
Was the little chap
line on the great big lens.
Great big what?
Lens.
Bloody camera there, and I just walk on.
You shouldn't have had that coffee.
Any other questions?
Quickly,
Yes,
a
yeah.
question.
Sorry, yeah.